the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of Cover Price's data. That's right, Cover Price. They deal with data. They release a list, a top 10 list of the highest selling comic books of the week. That list is released on Monday. Our live show is on a Friday. We like to take that list, tell you guys what it is, and Chris likes to dissect that list and give you his 3 most interesting picks of that list. Now, Cover Price does not sponsor us, but we do use Cover Price as a tool. It's a fantastic tool, in my opinion, and something you guys should all have in your toolbox, as well as other apps and sites and all that good stuff. But we're just going to get into it right now and get into the top 10 hottest comics of the week because I like this list. Chris, do you like this list?
Yeah, I did. I absolutely did.
All right, here we go. Top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of Cover Price data. At number 10, we have Stray Dogs. Number 1, Free Comic Book Day issue. I think one of our peeps had a couple of those. Number 9, we have Superman. Number 4, first appearance of Bloodsport. Number 8, Spider-Man Unlimited, the first appearance of Shriek. At number 7, we got The Nice House on the Lake. Guys, this does not leave the list. It's always on the list. I'm not complaining.
Crazy.
I'm just saying. At number 6, we have Moon Knight 13. We have a few people talking about that in our previous segment, Fresh from the Comic Shop. At number 5, Exiles. Number 3, all the love from the first episode of What If. This is first Peggy Carter. It's Captain America / Captain Carter. At number 4, we have Nocterra. Number 1, a lot of rumors going on with that Scott Snyder series. Number 3, we have Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, the Ijikure variant. Number 2, we have Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, the Nakledo variant. And at number 1, we got Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, cover A. Now, Chris, this is the time that you ask me, why are you yelling?
Why are you yelling? Am I really supposed to ask you?
No, is the drama too thick? Be honest with me in front of everybody. Okay.
Well, I'm choking. You're yelling.
Down.
I'm choking.
Now, here, I'll tell you.
This is too much.
Chris.
Okay.
Now, let me finish my sentence, Chris.
Go ahead.
Now is the time for you to go over your top 3. See, I took it back, right? It was too much.
Okay. I might start choking again, though.
All right, what do you got?
Again, big shout out to it's going to be in the Guinness Book World Records, Nice House on the Lake. Remember, I finally picked it for one of my top 3 last week just because I had to give it some propers. Didn't pick it again this week. You know, what more can I say?
I mean, you've been picking it every week. It gets old.
I know, right? I would just run out of stuff to say. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what it's doing. And then how about that 3 for the 3-2-1s? But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So, okay, folks. My third pick of the week was the Moon Knight 13. Look. You don't even gotta.
I don't have to bring it up.
I got one. You don't even gotta. I mean, you can bring it up on screen too.
It looks prettier on screen. You got too much glare.
It sure does. Look at that. So, Moon Knight. As we talked about in the Fresh from the Comic Shop segment, everything Moon Knight is hot right now. I talked about this book in my Daredevil video a couple weeks ago, saying with all the rumor in fan demand, it rhymes, but we fans are really demanding Charlie Cox's return. Mm-hmm. There's been the rumor of he's going to be Spider-Man's attorney in No Way Home, or he could show up in a Disney Plus series, and he absolutely could possibly show up in a Moon Knight. That would work. I would love to see Charlie Cox face off with Oscar Isaacs or something like that. But the bottom line is, for me, I would absolutely love to see this character come back. This book is a very affordable book that I think has a large potential of growth if indeed these two characters meet up in the MCU one way or the other. Jeff, you had mentioned in Fresh from the Comic Shop segment about the first meetings. You talked about the first Riri and Shuri. This is another thing, and I've talked about this for a long time now too. We, with the instantaneous information, with the ability for us as collectors to obtain information, we are finding more value in more books because it excites us to know it's not just that first appearance or that number one of a new run. It's when do these characters first meet up, or there's so much out there. The origin books are becoming bigger and bigger. So this is another one that I just think has a lot of potential. But regardless, it's a solid book from a solid run, from a Bronze Age run that I love. So looking at these numbers, a 202% increase in sales over the last week, a 9.6 CGC high, sold for $89. So that's very, very affordable. I think like about a week and a half ago, prior to this high, and I saw one that's a 9.6 sold for 80, and then the 89. I think one sold for like 60 something. So you can tell it's gaining a little bit of traction. But check this out. We did have a high raw that sold for $66. And there was another one that sold for $65. Both of them were on eBay listed as like near mint. So, again, for a early 80s Bronze Age book, it's going to be more or harder to find those types of high grades. They're probably really thinking, I'm going to spend a little more money to get this book where I'll get it press and clean and maybe get a 9.8 from CGC or something. I don't know. I don't have I wish for this one I would have calculated the average raw sale. I did in my video. If you guys go look at my video that I did 2 weeks ago, you can see what it was in 2 weeks. But we know the market changes. Now that this book made the top 10 list, there's obviously going to be more eyes to it. But again, I mean, a 9.6 selling for under $100. I think that's solid. We'll see if there might be any 9.8s coming back from CGC anytime soon with this book getting a little steam going.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I still, even though Daredevil had a series, right, with 3 seasons on Netflix, I don't think he's gotten his due yet, right? I think he's still a character on the rise. And Moon Knight has kind of a cult following, but with the MCU backing Moon Knight, I mean, his potential hasn't even. I mean, it's not even close. So the two of these guys are characters that still have a ton of room for growth. Because once they're out there, let's just hope that the rumors are true that Daredevil is in Spider-Man No Way Home, and Charlie Cox makes his way back into the MCU and is a recurring character in these series. Let's just hope, and because it's exciting to see these types of characters starting to get recognition, because it's well deserved. All right, Chris, moving on. Your second most interesting pick from this list. What do you got?
All right. This was I was excited to see this book because it's kind of a new frontier relating to Marvel Studios, and that is Exiles #3 from 2018. First appearance of Peggy Carter as Captain America, as we saw her in the What If episode, Captain Carter. Whatever, she's still Captain Carter technically in this because that's her name. But it is a version of Captain America, whereas in the What If, she's technically like a Captain Britain because she holds the shield that reflects Britain instead of the standard Cap shield that you see here. Regardless, I think what fans are doing right now is those are small differentials, and we got our first taste of Marvel Studios animated, and I think it's already blowing people out of the water. I haven't seen the second episode yet. I'm hoping to watch it tonight. It's going to break my heart. But that first episode was awesome. I thought it had a very good feel to it. I think the episodes are going to just keep getting better, by the way. But it had a certain that kind of Disney vibe to it, which was cool. But it still had a unique vibe to it, and it was still very much Marvel. Marvel Studios and what we know and love from them. So it doesn't surprise me that this book has got hot and made the list. Looking at these numbers, it had a 114% increase in sales over the last week. CGC 9.8 selling for $525. High sale, unbelievable. Again, I don't flaunt these books as these are huge books that are going to continue to increase in value or whatever. It's not always the case, but I don't know what this book is going to do in the future. I don't know if this book in a 9.8 will hold that type of value. But what I do know is that we, again, are clinging to everything that Marvel Studios does. And we come back to the comics. Now, whether or not people want to argue, oh, it's just flippers going back and buying the books or whatever, they don't even care. They're just trying to get rich and they're going to be let down when they don't hold value or not. Again, yes, there's always going to be those type of people. There's always going to be people that make uneducated purchases. There might be some people that get disappointed in what they buy. They lose money if the value drops. But the bottom line is that I'm sorry. I'm going to stand and say this through all my research and me understanding the industry. The majority of people that hop on these books, all right, they are just so engulfed in the characters once they see them on the screen. And now we're doing it for animated Marvel Studios. People are in love with Marvel Studios. It's huge. It's unfathomable, man. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
It's not slowing down. And there's something out there from one of the producers, and I cannot remember who said it, but these characters could cross over to the big screen. These animated characters could cross over to the big screen
or even just live action in some form.
Yes. So we could see a Peggy Carter in the Marvel universe, like on screen, a live action burger. What the hell? A live action version of Captain Carter, Captain Britain, whatever you want to call her. So it's exciting stuff. It really is. They're already crossing over into toys too. You're gonna have toys versions of. I mean, why would Disney not do that? They know how to work it. So, anyways, that's exciting to see. But before we get to your first pick from this list, Mark Lineker, the burger was friggin'. Thank you. I do want to point out here, somebody made a call on what, and I think we should start doing this. You guys, the audience, should start doing this on what Chris will make his first pick. We only have Miguel.g.comics making a call because he's going to pick Nocturna as number 1. Let's just see real quick if anybody else has. Nope, nobody else has. Is going out on their own. All right, so Chris.
Nobody, huh?
What's that?
Come on, man. That's no fun because I like this. I like letting them, try to pick and tell me what they
Yeah,
think.
well, we only got Miguel.g.comics. That's it. So
Miguel gets a cookie.
He gets a cookie. Superman.
Who said Superman?
Yes.
Okay, cookie.
Now,
who else wants a cookie?
Can you confirm or deny either of those? Hold on. Wait, yes. You already had a choice. You said Superman. Can't do that. Sorry, we're taking Superman.
Wait,
but Marvelman 616 says Exiles. But wait, he just had that in his second pick. Come on, guys.
What are you guys smoking?
We only got two entries. Maybe we'll have a contest for this too. All right, here we go. So Chris, make somebody's day. Make somebody's day here and let them know what you're picking at number.
I will say this, like, you guys pretty much, I'm sorry, guys. I can't sugarcoat this. You guys suck. Every time we've done this, I don't know if anyone has picked the right book. I can't remember one, but
choices at this point. So
I know. I love you guys. I'm just messing with you guys. I'm being tough on you guys. But no, nobody picked the right book. The Noctura, Bleeding Cool saying, "Hey guys, look out for this book." I mean, that's cool, but it wasn't enough for me to pick it. Look, my number 1 is a book that is causing a lot of controversy. Ironically, I just did a whole Friday Night Live show talking about it. It held the 3, 2, and 1 spots, triple action here with all the variants, including the cover A. Batman, Urban Legends, number 6. Look, folks, I don't want to spend another hour talking about this book like I did in my Friday Night Live show. If you want that version, if you want that hour spiel, go check out the rewind of my Friday Night Live show. Here's the thing. Anytime a book has something that happened in this book, and for those that don't know, it was revealed without saying so that Tim Drake is bisexual. It was an interest of him and another character, and he asked him out on a date and to be continued. So already you get all the negative backlash. And the thing that really kind of just yanked my chain is you get people, especially content creators, that have a responsibility because they know that viewers sometimes hold on to everything they say and run with it and regurgitate it. I know some viewers do that with the stuff I say and do. And that's why I make sure that the stuff that I say, not that I'm perfect or I'm always right or anything, but I understand my responsibility and I proceed with caution. And I do my due diligence, speak truth to fact, and I make sure my opinion is well-rounded and well-researched. And when you come out and say something like this, him being bisexual, it's lazy writing. And then you admit that you don't even read the book. You haven't even read it, but you're talking about the writing. I probably lost about 40 subscribers over the last week just because I called that out. And I'm not even talking about him being bi. I said in my show, it's like, I don't care if they announced and revealed that Tim Drake had 6 toes. Like, don't sit here and tell me that giving Tim Drake 6 toes is lazy writing if you haven't read the story. Don't tell me that when Spider-Man gets a new suit, if you're Stevie Wonder and you're blind, and somebody tells you that, oh, Spider-Man has a new suit. Oh, that suit's ugly. What were they thinking? You don't know what it looked like. I don't care if you don't like the fact that Tim Drake is now bi, as long as you read the story and you can provide a solidified argument to why you have that opinion. All right? So I'm not going to continue on with that because I do believe that folks that make uneducated opinions and that talk about a story being forced or being lazy when they themselves are the epitome of lazy because they haven't even picked up the book. The bottom line is that people are buying this book, whether you like it or not. I think these people that don't read it and have these opinions, they're regurgitating a yes man ideology that gets circled around, and that's it. There's no base. It's baseless, right? Look at this book, though. Oh, look, this book had a $103 high raw sale. Oh well, they just do this stuff to sensationalize and to pander and virtue signal. I don't know if many people even know what those words and terms mean. I think they just hear other YouTubers saying it and then they repeat it because they think that's the thing to do, right? Well, the thing is this. Everything that comic book writers do and editors do and publishers do is to sell comics. When they kill off a character for the 29,000th time, it's to make money and sell comics. Whenever they give Spider-Man a new suit, no matter how ugly some of us think it is, it's to sell comics. Anytime, they bring back a character that they killed off, it's to sell comics. Anytime they do a clone saga for the 2700th time, it's to sell comics. Maybe they said, oh, well, let's make this character bisexual. Maybe it'll help us sell comics. Hey, the only time you're mad about it, though, is when it has to do with these things that might make you uncomfortable. I don't know. I've lost subscribers over it. I don't know. I don't care. But here's the thing. You have not been mad when comic books did all these other crazy things to sell comics. Only when it's these issues, or so it seems. And then you use the excuse that it's lazy writing, because nobody was buying these comics. I'll tell you this. A speculator or a true speculator or flipper did not buy this comic for $103. I'll tell you that right now. The speculator and the flipper was buying multiple copies off the shelf for cover price. The speculator and the flipper may have been buying some comics off of eBay for maybe the $10 to $15 to $20 mark when it started to get some traction, when people started talking about this book. A speculator and flipper did not pay $103 for this book. A fan did. Regardless if it holds value, regardless of whatever reason, the bottom line is that person that sold that bought that book for $103, I can tell you with everything in my heart and soul, they didn't buy that book because they hated the fact that Tim Drake's not bisexual, or that they thought it was pandering, or that they thought it was because it was to sell comics. They bought it because they wanted to. And maybe they bought it because it spoke to them. And so I'll finish with this number one pick on this note. You can have an opinion on anything. This isn't political. It isn't one way or the other. Like I said, I don't care. If you truly think that Tim Drake being bi is a negative thing, and all I care about is that you can solidify your argument. And if you blame it on the writing, but haven't read the story, I can't get with you, buddy. I can't do it. Like I said on my live show, it's like Siskel and Ebert sitting there critiquing a movie, saying that movie had bad writing. Have you seen it yet? No, I ain't seen it yet. Well, how do you know how the writing was? They don't. So don't twist what I'm saying here and go unsubscribe because I'm a liberal snowflake woke SJW. Again, I don't care if you hate that he's bi. I don't care if you dislike it. I don't care if you dislike if he had 6 toes or 2 toes, if that's what they changed. Have a substantiated reason to why you believe that, and maybe I'll listen to you. But until then, this book is hot. People are buying it, and not every book is going to be for everyone. There are hundreds of books released every week. There are thousands of books released every month. And there are millions of books out there that continue to get released. Not everyone has to speak to you. If you ain't into it, then you could say, I'll pass, and you could go buy that new Moon Knight book or Noctura book or whatever the case may be. But 3, 2, and 1 slots, DC's doing something right because they're laughing all the way to the bank.
That's a fact. Here's the deal. We talk about this all the time. Representation matters. This matters to somebody who sees themselves in Tim Drake, right? I think that's great. I think it's great. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't look any different to this character who is aligned with Batman and is the Batman family. Now, speaking as purely kind of like putting your speculation, I don't think this is a good buy at all. And I think once this dies down, if this book means something to you, I think you're better off waiting for this to die down, and you're not going to pay $103 for it in 2-3 weeks from now. So just keep that in mind. I'm glad they're evolving Tim Drake to represent people in this world. Again, now I haven't read it, so I can't say. But if it's a shitty story, then I'm going to shit on it. I think it's crappy, right? Yep. But if it's a good story, as long as it's a good story, I'm fine with this revelation of who this character is. And I think, Chris, you feel the same way.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into it anymore. But I said in my show, I will say here, I'm not going to hold back. It's like, I understand. You and I, Jeff, we both talked about how you can't have people trying to pull a, look, I'm a decent human being card and say, I'm gonna throw some representation out there just because I want my cool card, right? For your brownie points. You can't have a middle-aged male, writing about women's rights, like it's like get people in there that have experienced, even if it's a co-writer, or somebody that has had that experience in real life, and give them an opportunity to write about it, talk about it, do the art. Get LGBTQ writers in to tell stories for LGBT folks out there, because those people are out there in the world. Get these Black writers to tell stories of what it's like growing up Black in America, or maybe you get an African character to tell a story about an actual individual that grew up in a nation in Africa, and you tell that story. And comic books, even in their fiction, always need to, they always reflect they're grounded in real life. Any good fiction is grounded in nonfiction, to be quite honest. So do that. So me and you both, we're not sitting here completely like, we're not blind on some political beliefs or some certain types of beliefs that aren't going to sit and say that, yeah, maybe people do these things and it's not genuine, but you can't even make that opinion on something if you don't read the book or read the story or understand what's going on. So it's just ironic that anytime it's about race, gender, or sexuality, you get the same regurgitated rhetoric. And I'm telling you, it's sensationalized keywords, that trigger words that I don't even think half of these. I'm not saying all these people are bad people that say these things, but it's reactionary behavior. You're not putting any thought or critical discussion behind it. You don't have an opinion, and I always say this: opinions are opinions, right? But a good opinion is based on data, facts, and evidence. Because an opinion that water isn't wet isn't an opinion at all. It's bullshit. Water's wet, whether you want to believe it or not, And that's what I said. I use the example of writing a research paper. You present an argument in your introduction. You say, comics have done this, this, and that, in the representation of LGBT, whatever. I believe this, though, to be a detriment to the LGBT due to lazy writing. That's your thesis statement. And then you have to validate your opinion. You have to validate your argument. Well, how do you validate that? By saying it's woke nonsense or it's just SJWs. Those are trigger terms that you just heard somebody else saying in a YouTube video. That's not solidifying your argument. So you go into your first paragraph and you bring in facts, and then you speak your argument to those facts to back up your claim. And that's how somebody that might not agree with you, that might not be educated on the subject, can sit there and say, okay, now I still might not agree with you fully, but I see where you're coming from, because at least you substantiated your argument to make me ponder your opinion and say, not a bad argument, right? That doesn't happen. Again, like I said in my live show about this book earlier, I lost so many subscribers over the last few days simply because it wasn't even about the sexuality or the gender or anything like that. It's about stop having an opinion on things that you have no right having an opinion on because you haven't picked up the book. Don't tell me a story is lazy writing when you haven't read the writing. Don't tell me that a movie has bad acting if you haven't watched the actors act the movie. Don't tell me that a movie has a bad screenplay if you ain't read the screenplay or watched the film. That's all it boils down to. And if you can't grasp that and you're still mad at me saying that, then maybe it's not about the comic books in the first place. Maybe it's about you being defensive of some type of bias, even though maybe those biases might be subconscious. I don't know. That's on you. But I'm all about having open discussions. I'm all about understanding people's different perspectives and why some people may say, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to engage in that discussion, you better come with one, humility and the ability to listen to others and respect. But lastly, like I said, educate yourself. Make your opinion matter. Don't just regurgitate nonsense to where you're just throwing out these baseless, this baseless rhetoric that just, it gets nobody nowhere.
100%. It's just infuriating when people themselves are lazy and just don't educate themselves. So that right there wraps up our top 10 hottest comics of the week. We'll have a brand new list next week.